All right. Happy Friday to all you devils out there. Sam here with you. It's March 11th, about 12:45 for me here in Austin. Of course, we're going to get an update here on Bitcoin. Now, things are starting to reveal themselves a bit, and perhaps we've got some changes in the count. Not dramatic. I don't think we have radical changes in the Elliott count, but how we're going to finish this correction, perhaps. We got some new clues. Now, before we get into it here, which we will in great detail, there's a couple things to note. So members, some of you might be aware of this, or those of you that caught the live stream. So I've been a little less visible in the Discord lately, and as you know, we cut back a day on the live streams simply because I'm working on a new course for you guys. So I'm hoping to have that out and done in a week or two. Well, I'm probably 40% through it right now. You'd have to call it more of a price action approach. It's not revolutionary. It's not new. It's just new to, it's not nothing that we've taught before. But the reason I like it and the reason I'm putting the time in to do it is it fits in very nicely with what we're already doing. So I think it just gives us a little more flexibility in terms of how we approach the market. And perhaps we'll create more opportunities. If nothing else, it'll give you a different way to view the market. And I think there's a very appealing logic to it because it's a bit binary, if this, then that. So you look for that coming, hopefully it's no more than 2 weeks. It's important enough, I think, that you'll see this. We're going to either make it a supplemental course or I'm going to build it into the white belt. So those of you that are joining us for the first time that come in to access the white belt are going to get access to this same course. Of course, it'll be free to you. Now, we are doing this both for the Ninja side of our business. So we're writing our own tools to accommodate this and make it easier for you to trade it for those of you that use Ninja. But I will also be able to direct you some tools that will make it easier for you on TradingView, although we might partner with another company on that. So that's kind of an update on what I've been doing. Obviously, keep an eye on the markets, but that's taking a lot of my time of late. But again, hopefully no more than a couple of weeks. And my guess is you guys will like it. And I wouldn't put the time in if I didn't think it was going to add value to your membership. So with that said, let's dig in here. All right, so if we look at it out here now, this is the daily here over on Coinbase here, and it does appear that with the price action we're seeing right here, where we're consolidating here, can't get a real break here, anything impulsive. So the implication here is immediately would make you think triangle. So how could that triangle fit in? Well, it requires a bit of a reformatting of the count here. It's not dramatic, and these are variations of counts that we've all kind of struggled with as what's most likely. Now this one, so I just went back and forth with Sensei Tudum, who as you guys know, right? He's a level 2 Elliottician here, and I always go to him for just to double check that I don't have a rule break. So I pay him to make sure I don't. So because he's so good, we went back and forth on this, and I think the thinking is here that to do it as a WXY, it's more accommodative to have the X here. If we're going to break the highs here, to have this as an X. And it does look like, because my view is here, this is very strong support down here, that we're likely to head towards this. We know, well, the market has a tendency to want to move towards liquidity. You know that there's going to be a shitload of stops that are underneath these pivots here. So it would not be surprising at all for us to come down here. Maybe there's a sweep of the lows here to grab all that liquidity and we go up. So, but the implication here is that the flat now seems more likely getting there via a WXY. All right. So now it changes a couple of things, right? So we had, here with the, I think I locked it here. So with this, at this previous high, right, it's not dramatic here, but we're changing where we're proposing the wave 3 high is. Now, of course, there is this nice impulse here. And at that time, it looked like if this was going to be an ABC, right, you might have expected that to continue on. But based on what's followed here, and then trying to, how are we going to get this to play as a WXY, given that we've got a triangle here formatting here in the lower half of this. What's the most likely solution here? So by changing that, now we're putting the 23.6 here right at the lows. We still have the very nice framing of the geometry here via the set of median lines. I mean, this is very valid here. Now, it would change how you get there a little bit in terms of some of the internal swing structure here. So the 3 into the B, of course, that's just perfect. Now we come down here in the 5. This has always been really open to interpretation. Now, if you're going to do it that way, you'd be looking to finish the 5 here rather than the secondary pivot here. It's higher pivot. So you have that to start with, but then you'd have to get there via the 1, the A, the expanded B into the C for the 2, 3, 4, 5, gets you your A. So you end up with an ABC here, just as we had previously counted it, because you could do this a couple of different ways. Now, this is what has been so difficult to really wrap your arms around here, because this is, the pump wick here, the liquidation wick here is kind of a monkey in the wrench. So it makes it hard to really nail the count. But I think because of where it goes here, these can't be forced. Because you might have thought, right, at first glance, you look, oh, 1, 2, 3, oh, triangle 4. Well, we can't do it because of the overlap here. So this liquidation wick is forcing a count, well, based on what we have here. Because it looked like you could do an A, B, C, D, but since looks like we're going to work through this triangle in this location, this looks like the best count. Now, it's just that at this moment in time, this seems to be the count with the highest probability of completion, and then ultimately getting us down here. But of course, an Elliott count is it's just a snapshot in time. Things can change quickly. Right now, we shall see. Already, look how much we're forecasting, right? This is what makes this typical. So you're already looking for this 3 to come down here and to complete here, but and not do a free fall. Now, because we want to stay within those trend lines if we can. And then we're forecasting another 3 to get up here for the E. Then we're forecasting another 3 to get down here for the Y, right? Or pardon me, to complete the ABC of the, to give us the ABC of the Y to give us the 4. So there's a lot of forecasting that's going on in here with, so it always makes me reluctant here to forecast a triangle. But when you start to see these contracting highs, it's hard not to, well, let's see if we get the D. Right? That'll be interesting. And does it hold here? It would be important that it holds. So as we look here, now the other thing that I've done here, just to kind of frame it, it's an easy way to look at it. I've just put a channel on it, right? So I'm just straight lining here, and I'm using the highest close, right? Close to close, no wick. And then just drawing a line here in the middle. So if I highlight this here, I mean, so that's just the 50%. Not surprising here. So you might consider this, premium discounted here. So as we stay down here, this is where you want to be looking to be a buyer in this, assuming this range is what we're dealing with, and that we're not going to be prone to something dramatically lower, which I think is less likely, but always, right? Always a possibility. So into the B, right? So it would play rather nicely, and it solves this. It solves this. We can get down here through a 5. Of course, the subdivision in the 3 is, it's just a waterfall, but the rest of it plays, and you finish with a nice 5 here, extension in the 5th. So it plays, right? It's workable. Now, we'll see how this plays, but I don't think. Here's what I think would be. Well, you'd have to be very, very comfortable with the shorter term stuff. We're trying to work that to pick that turn there, and then say, oh, I'm going to get a 3 into the E. Right now, E notoriously they underthrow, they could overthrow. So this to forecast this, I'd feel a lot better here seeing that complete. Now, what do I get here? Right again, right? Am I going to get 3? I'm going to trade that if I get that, but nothing says we can't do that. Right now that count blows up. Now you're back here thinking, wait a minute. That wouldn't work, right? We'd blow out the 4. So much of it is just tied to the fact that this should be solid support. Any push down here is like, you could anticipate, because we know there's going to be liquidity down here, that if we do come down here and test these lows, it would be surprising to me if we came down here and we didn't sweep those lows because there'll be so much liquidity there, right? So traders will know that. So now, whether it holds or not remains to be seen. But right now, I think this is a very valid count. So really, it's hurry up and wait still. Now, if we do come down here and we hold here and we start to move up, well, of course, you're going to be looking, We want it to be a 3, right? So can we get, now I'm on a daily here, can I get a little zigzag here? Right now, you would not be expecting this to go into a 5. You'd not be expecting that. So I prefer to not do that, because then we're going to be back here trying to figure out what the hell we've got. So, but just as a result, you're anticipating this. We're right back here to the structure here that holds. Oh, here let's look at it from both swing low to swing high. Now, of course, we don't know that we're not going to get a lower low here, but right now this is what I've got. Length of the A. So if we're going to put a B in here, this would be, well, it's, not out of bounds, right? For us to hold the 38. I think we looked at this here. Oh, is it this one? Oh, maybe it was on a lower time frame. There was a pivot here where we were just in between the two. Can't quite clear it. Now, if we come lower here, we've broken, right? So you'd be back to the next pivot here where we're in the pocket, or here where we're not quite getting to the 50s. I'd certainly be mindful there, right? So do we come up here? Now, that trend line, you want that to hold. Let's make that a little fatter. We want that to hold. For the idea, so when I say that, it's not because I want prices lower. It's because I want a pattern I recognize. So if it does this, I mean, I'm not disappointed about that. I'm dying to buy it down here. I think most of the market is. God, if we get that opportunity. So it's a combination of, there will be liquidity down here. Market tends to move towards liquidity. Oh, there's liquidity up here, right? I mean, you've got equal highs up here, so you know there's a bunch of stops there. They've already been tapped multiple times. So if we were to come down here, so that thus you could see a potential overthrow here. Is if we come down here and then we push up, you could see a little grab for liquidity. It wouldn't be surprising. Well, we shall see. But right now, that looks like, well, so next up, can we break that low? Or is that what we're headed towards? All right, we got to pay attention to what happens here. We are none of these pivots are creating higher highs or higher lows, so we're very much looking like a triangle is forming, but we're anticipating this to be done in a 3. Oh, yeah, I think that's already broken. So this is we've got a slight break here. Get right on that pivot. We've got a slight wick break here. We don't close above it, but boy, that sure sets up nicely. Oh, you might just see what the APP looks like, alternate price projection, where that 100 is going to come in. Right in the pocket here. I'd carve it out like that. It's too skinny for a set of median lines here. You might think, but I mean, you might get there. Oh, go down to an 8. Maybe open that up a little bit. Just get right on those pivots. Is that my highest high? Yeah, we got a true double there. Into the D. Actually, not bad. AB. Into the 100, it's really not bad at all, actually, now that we look at it, right? So that's what your target is right there. That's 35 and change. So if we come down, tap that median line, now you're looking for the push up. Let's get the E down here. I'll probably take that up a degree so we can see a little better. So A, B, doing it in 3s. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, now can we tag that? Boy, if you do get that, if we get down here and you get a little pop there, because you're going to need a 5 here, right? Because what are we looking for? We're looking for a zigzag. All right, to take that up in a 5-3 or in a 5-3-5 would be ideal to give us our E here, right? So we finish the triangle. We'll see here. That set of median lines better than I thought. And you got the 100 right here. Right, length of this first pivot from the retrace. So if that's going to go A, B, C, let's label it up. A, B, C. Give me the D. Let's bring that down here. We'll go. All right, so to give me the D on that edge at the 100 at the median line. Now, do we get that precision? I wouldn't bet against it. Well, already just staring at that, right? What do we got here? I got 80% odds. Well, so then you say, well, wait a minute, wouldn't there be a set of median lines on the other side? Yep, there would. All right, so we'd have this looking here, right? Fails to get to the median line. Remember, I know it gets a little hard to see here. Fails to get to the median line, sets up a move equal to or greater than trading principle number 4. Right, so could very well be what we're looking at here, but we haven't broken that low yet. So right now, you don't want to fill in the blanks, right? Let the market show it to you. But that looks like the path of least resistance. Oh, I don't know if there's anything else here that's here at this degree here. You don't have any. Well, I think that covers us here. So we shall see. Coming down towards 35, back up towards, let's call it low 40s. And ultimately, we're trying to be a buyer down here in the 28 to 30K range. All right, so I think that covers it. Now, before I go here, I've got some stupid appointment I got to go to. How about the triangle? Is the triangle dead? Let's look at here. Not entirely. It would appear, though, if we're going to come down here, we're going to test this 30. We could still get here via this triangle, so an A, B. We'd have to do it a little bit differently. So we'd be working through an A, B, C here. So the shape of the triangle now changes, so we'd get a descending, or so we're flat on the bottom, descending on the top. We might get a descending triangle. So we'd end up getting there this way. So we'd have an A, a B. Now we're going to get to the C via the A that we just looked at, the triangle and the B, which would get us down here to the C. So actually, I just put that back on. A, B, we're going to get to the C here. Now we'd need 3 into the D, and then again 3 into the Y. Now it's important that we don't break here because we want to maintain that flat line here. So now you could underthrow a little bit. You could underthrow a little bit, and then we'd go. So still a possibility. Although looking less, I don't hate it, right? The variation here is where's the 3, right? So if you're doing the working this as an A, B, C for the flat, right? Then you're changing that here. Triangle, I'd keep it here, and then again, this is a lot of forecasting. We don't even have the B yet completed before we go down to the C, up to the D, down to the E. So it's a lot of forecasting here. So I think this one, while we don't want to, we can't take it off the board yet. This has moved now, based on this price action, it has moved from primary to secondary. I preferred the other count. Okay, so let's see. Do I have anything else to add here? I don't think I do. All right, I think just keep this one short, mainly because I've got to. My wife's got me going to some. I don't know what we're doing. I got to go to something this afternoon, and then I want to spend the rest of the afternoon this weekend working on the course that I'm working up for you guys. So that is coming here. As I said, I'm about 40%. I've got most of the slides done. I got to just go through and find the examples here so I can move from theory to application. So that usually takes that certainly takes some time to get that put together here. So that's on the way. So a short one, nice. Yeah, usually I go 40 minutes. So I don't have anything else to add. I don't think there's anything to do here. So we hurry up and wait. Let's go back here. I'll leave you with a last look here at. Let's reset where we are here. Let's bring it back out here. This one looks pretty good. Get that one out of there. A, B, C, right? So, the last thing I thought I'd show you here is that if we're going to add some time elements to this. Let's see. So we've got here's our 38. If I put some time on this, looking for now, it's a slight change because we've looked at this a couple of times before. If this is the 3, then even though I've got an expanded B, it's the W that I'm tracking here. So even though I'm going higher here, I want to take the length of time of the W to complete. That would include the expanded B. Then up to the X. I'm going to hide that, take that off. So as we look here, here's what you can see. Here's 1382. We just hit the 100, right? So if this is going to complete, we're pushing out a little bit further. Let's bring this down here. So I've got a 1382, 1618, and the 2 here as time factors for the potential WXABC to finish down here. So we'd be looking for that confluence between Well, so here we'd have, so here we have the flat. So all I'm doing again, that's just the close to the close, the lowest close to the highest close with the 50%. So if we're coming down into this pocket, boy, that 1382 looks pretty good. You can so anything over here, then we'd be, oh, you probably look for some order blocks down here at the low. We'd get a nice, boy, well, really, what are we looking at here? Just perfect setup here for a 4. Now, does that guarantee that we come out of here? Of course not. But it sure does look good. Now, we'll see when we get down here, if we get down here. Right? Let's not assume, right? Or, you know, as soon as you sit here and go, well, that's the only place I'm going to buy it, it won't get there. So just let it do what it's going to do, right? There's so much volatility. There's so much uncertainty in the market. We're in absolutely insane times. Don't force a trade right now. There's no reason to. We've been waiting all this time to get the right setup here. The whole time looking to be a buyer down here at the low 30s. Just how are we going to get there? Looks like we're on our way here, but will be interesting to see what we're talking about next Friday. All right, guys. So with that, I'll wrap it. It'll be a short one today, and well, as soon as I've got that course done, well, I'll probably release it to members first, and then you look for it. Oh, you'll know about it because we'll trumpet it. Okay, guys, there you go. Have a good weekend, and we will be on for a live stream on Monday, so I will catch you guys back on Monday at 11:30. Until then, have a good one.